peasants, go and fetch me a large regular coffee, a maple donut, and the newspaper. Yes, absolutely, with pleasure. Just don't hurt me with that thing. I love when MacArthur scores.
You ready? Big news. What? Whoosh. Seriously? No pigs yet. What? What was he doing? Wow. Bring him on. Beautiful.
Peeing mic check 1, 2, 3. Peeing mic check out.
You know how scary it is to sit in an empty arena meant to seat like 20,000 people and then to hear Andy Frost's voice come on the speakers? Leafs win 2-0 over the New York Islanders. First star James Reimer stopping 28 of 29 shots to improve to 4-0-2 over his last 6. I know he hasn't played much, I know it's still a small sample size, but really hard not to get excited. But it would be another goalie who would steal the show early on, Al Montoya, in his first start as an Islander. The former 6th overall pick was one of the hottest goalie prospects in hockey once upon a time. And he makes an enormous save on Joffrey Lupul in the opening minute. Based on the chances he's had since the trade, Lupul should have like 3 goals with the Leafs. But I've really liked what I've seen out of Lupul so far. Really aggressive, really fast, and Ron Wilson said it best after the game. Eventually they're going to go in. And the Leafs escaped the first period with a 1-0 lead, probably a little lucky since they took 3 penalties to the Islanders' 1. Now, a story between the first and second period that didn't end up getting told until after the game. James Reimer almost barfed. He said he was actually feeling nauseous and dry heave during the game. But he didn't barf, and that's concentration. Okay, stop the puck. Stop the puck. After the game, he told reporters that he took Gaviscon and he felt much better. Perhaps paving way for the best commercial of all time. Hi, I'm James Reimer. You know, when I'm preventing the other team from scoring, Gaviscon is preventing me from barfing. Some little kid throws a bottle. Hey, James, catch! Whoosh. Thanks, kid. And despite the Gaviscon making James Reimer feel better in the second, the Leafs continued their undisciplined play, taking yet another penalty, this time Mike Commissary. Just 7 seconds into the power play, scoring off a rebound his 27th of the season, Matt Molson. And at the end of 2 periods, it's 6 Leaf penalties versus 2 for the Islanders. And with the shots even at 20-20 after 2, you gotta wonder if the Leafs would have taken over the game if they had played a little more discipline. Leafs having a pretty frustrating third period. The game's tied and they only managed to get 5 shots in the whole period. Then we hear from Phil the Thrill. But he does a move that we've seen 1,000 times before, flies down the left wing, slams on the brakes, cuts through the middle, and shoots. It fools Al Montoya. This one actually goes in. And as streaky a scorer as Phil Kessel is, he's got a world-class shot, and Al Montoya hasn't played that much in the NHL, didn't seem ready for it. That being said, Islanders fans, for a 6th-round pick, not bad. Also important to note, icing call, there's a face-off in the Leafs zone. You know who's on the ice? Phil Kessel. Phil the Thrill is on in the last 30 seconds of the game in a defensive situation. So there's Ron Wilson putting faith into Phil Kessel, and there's Phil Kessel giving him a reason to. And that's all she wrote. Leafs win 2-1, and they're now 14-4-1 when Phil Kessel scores a goal. 4 game winners, this being the 4th. Something I didn't really mention in this game recap. Pretty rough game. Islanders doing what they've done a lot this season, chirping their opponent, trying to get into fights, get under their skin. And I saw a few comments online during and after the game saying, why wouldn't any Leaf take on Zenon Konopka? Why would they? The guy has 219 penalty minutes. He led the entire NHL in penalty minutes at the end of last season. Why would a guy like Phaneuf or Shen, like some people were suggesting, fight him? Mike Brown and Colby Armstrong back in the lineup. Colby Armstrong definitely making his presence felt, getting Haley to almost fight him. And also nailing Haley with a hit, linking the underbar. And the record shows it. The Leafs are just a better team with Colby Armstrong in the lineup. And this is why during the summer when fans were like, well, why would the Leafs sign Armstrong to that much? Not everything that happens in a game shows up on the box score. Question of the game for you guys, scoring his career high 18th goal of the season, Clark MacArthur, will he stay or will he go? I really hope he stays. And I've been reading a lot of things like, oh, the Leafs need to trade MacArthur while his value's high. And a lot of these guys are the same people that go, oh, the Leafs offense stinks, they need a forward. He's the Leafs top scorer, dummy. Now, if a deal can't get worked out, yeah, I guess you trade him. And yeah, I guess it's for a young forward. But for now, try to keep him. And I tend to agree with most pundits. People seem to think that he's going to sign for somewhere between what Kuhlman has and what Grabowski has. And forget the points he's racked up, just his compete level I want to have on the Leafs for a long time. Now, here's the final question I want to leave you with. Leafs 6 points back of the Carolina Hurricanes for the 8th and final playoff spot in the East. 1 game in hand on them. Can they? Because I agree with what Brian Burke said. I don't want to see the team mortgage the future in order to just squeak right into that 8th and final playoff spot. But can they? So leave me a comment. What do you think the Leafs' odds are of making the playoffs? What percent? Because they're 6 points back, but they've also got a great record since the All-Star break. Leafs fans might not like to hear this, but I only give them somewhere like 20-25% maybe at the highest. But notice I didn't say 0. It's going to be an exciting next little while. So that's it for this one. Add me as a friend on leafspace.com. Add me as a friend on Facebook or like my page on Facebook. Added some new pictures of Joe Colborne there so you can check those out. Follow me on Twitter at Steve_Dangle. And can they?